Look, I've even primed up Steve with a few questions. No peeking. All right. Steve Richards, it's a pleasure to be here with you today.
Thanks,
And
Nick.
the Big Bag Recycling Program. I think we first met roughly 8 years ago or somewhere thereabouts. And you always struck me as someone that was very passionate for this recycling program. Do you want to, just for those that don't know anything about you or the program itself, talk about, I guess, a little bit of your background, how you come to be involved with this, and have pretty well been one of a few people that have spearheaded it from a public point of view in terms of the education and building it up to what it is today?
Mate, thanks very much. Thanks for the effort of coming here. It is genuinely appreciated. But the Big Bag Recovery Program, it's the front end of a complete circular economy business, and what we've got here today in Circular Communities Australia is the back end. And how it all came about was in about 2015, I started a program collecting fertiliser bags in far north Queensland. And we always had the goal of expanding out of just into fertiliser and into all bulk bags, but then had the realisation to say that once you actually collect these, there's an absolute responsibility to actually do something with it and then start to turn that into circularity. And that's what this facility here does. So we're able to turn both bulk bags and sacks. Predominantly woven polypropylene is our target polymer. Stage one with this facility enables us to take it back into a resin pellet that can be resold and reused. So it's really about saying, well, can we take a bag that has a very limited lifespan, use a process of mechanical recycling to maximise the highest and best use for the resource? And that's what we've been able to achieve here.
How long is a recyclable plastic recyclable for? How many life cycles can you take it?
Yeah, that's a great question, and not many people think about that long enough. So the process we do is called mechanical recycling. What mechanical recycling simply is cleaning the plastic, heating it up to its melt point, and then changing its shape. That's what mechanical recycling does. The CSIRO released a report in 2021 that said that the low-density polyethylene can be mechanically recycled 40 times. We're working on a very conservative basis of our polypropylene being able to be recycled 8 times. So what's that really mean? If I was to take a bulk bag and turn it into a school seat, which we've got capability, we can do that in an hour. A school seat can last 5 or 6 years, and if I do that 8 times, we're looking at 40 years worth of useful life out of a resource that would have gone straight to landfill.
How do they work that out? Is that some sort of microscope analysis and the molecules aren't holding together as well as they used to?
Yeah, a little bit beyond my pay grade, but effectively the science is there to say that yes, what actually happens over time when you do go through the stresses of recycling, which is heating it up to its melt point, etc., then it reduces, poor choice of words, it reduces the bindability of the pellets to form back into a shape. Yeah. So what that means is then you actually have to add more higher grade, that might be a little bit of virgin stuff, etc. So to extend the life beyond those 8 cycles, you might end up saying, okay, well, why don't we at the 3rd, 4th or 5th cycle start to shandy in 10% virgin plastic, and now we've extended that cycle from 8 times to 10 times. And that's the sort of stuff. But at the end of its life, whatever that might well be, then there is absolute ability to then go through a advanced recycling process that then might blast it back to its original chemical compositions.
Ag chain partners out there or independent ag stores watching this now, even other stock feeders, fertiliser people, all those ag industries with bags that are out on the market and the ag chain partners, what would you say to them now to encourage collection?
Yeah, I'd actually, well, a number of things is to have a look at suppliers like Reid Stockfeeds who are actually putting out product and taking responsibility for the end of life. That is critical. And support those that are actually trying to do the right thing with regards to that, because there's plenty that are shirking their responsibility. So suppliers that are actually doing the right thing should absolutely be supported with regards to that. And once we understand that where those volumes are, is we'll put solutions in and around that. So, and it might very well be, right? So things that we want to try and break into, for argument's sake, is if you're supplying, and it might not necessarily apply to you guys, but if you're supplying feed into the equine thoroughbred industry, there's no reason why we couldn't put a compound at the local racetrack and use that as the repository where people can drop their bags back. And they might be dropping back, chicken feed or potty calf feed. It doesn't really matter, but they just need to have a central repository that enables us to get, as I say, as much volume and collect it the least amount of times. But support those that are in the program.
Can you just take us through and outline some of the end products that are capable eventually through the recycling plant here?
Yeah, and it's a really good question, right? So you've got a young family, and the truth is that we can turn a bulk bag into a child's school seat in an hour. That's the capability of it. It's exactly the same polymer. It's roughly the same yield or weight. And it literally is just going through the process of cleaning it, heating it up so that you can turn it into a pellet. Once you've got a pellet, then you can extrude that into whatever shape you like. So that's the truth with regards to that. They're the sorts of things that we'll be looking to do here and at our other sites, is to actually start to make usable products. Anything that we make, we must be able to recover. Other things that we're looking at are things like evaporation discs. So an evaporation disc sits on water storage. So many tens of thousands of a disc, they're roughly the size of a dinner plate, will sit on water storage. Multifaceted, reduce obviously the amount of evaporation, but increase crop yield quite often because it reduces algal bloom. And it's the commercial benefit that we can now demonstrate that offsets the cost of actually putting it there. So, these are the types of things that domestic recycling can now start to move to, where imported and direct competitors from overseas are just not aware of that market opportunity. But you've got to then start to work with those that are wanting to use that and prove the commercial benefit of it, so that they say, yeah, okay, I get it, I'm prepared to buy that. If you make it, I'll buy it. But the capex required to get to that point, it's the dance, the chicken and egg dance. We've got forward contracts, we'll spend the capex and all of that kind of thing.
The business knows it.
100%.
Yeah. So how do businesses participate in the program, number one? And secondly, how can people, like your racetrack example, go about setting up a compound?
Look, we've spent an enormous amount of time making sure we've got the best possible people, and we're super proud of the team that we've got. So very simple to get directly involved with. If you go to the Big Bag Recovery website, all of the contact details are there, and our team will reach out and work with you as best we can to make sure it all happens.
Now, I want to finish with a special moment, Steve, to share with the audience at home here and in the office. But it's going to require you to close your eyes just momentarily.
Okay, I'll do it.
Trust-based exercise. You can trust me.
Right.
All right. Just stay there. Tucked up in my bag. I know you're a fan, so I went to a lot of work to bring this up. Get it past the scales in the airport. I'll just tidy it up a little bit here. Hang on. It's a bit fluffy.
This better be a Terry. It's a Terry.
Look at that. Oh, shit. Gotta untuck it. Jeez, it's atrocious.
Nice.
Look at that.
Thank you, brother. I got a Terry. Is
Good
this a
stuff.
Terry?
It's a terry. There you go.
How good
The
is
old
that?
terry towel, Reid Stockfeeds terry toweling, fresh off the press and very popular back home in Victoria. So wear it with pride around the country wherever you take this program.
I will. Thanks, mate. Thanks very much for coming.
Good on you.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, likewise.